Welcome to Copilot Podcasts. You know that fancy walking stick your grandfather kept by his chair? Yeah, it might actually be a sword. Today, we're diving into Marvel's fascinating history with concealed weapons, particularly the deadly art of the combat cane and what it reveals about power hiding in plain sight.
Oh man, and there's so much more to unpack here than people realize. This isn't just about cool hidden weapons, it's about how Marvel uses these objects to tell deeper stories about deception and power.
Let's start with some of Marvel's most iconic examples. What are some standout cases of characters using canes as weapons?
Well, one of the most fascinating examples is actually Daredevil's Billy Club. From the very first issue, it was designed to transform from an ordinary-looking blind man's cane into a versatile weapon.
Wait, so it started as just a simple transformation gimmick?
Actually, it evolved really quickly. By just the third issue, they started adding all these crazy gadgets inside it, like they put in a tape recorder, a grappling hook, even smoke pellets.
Sounds like they went full James Bond with it.
Yeah, and you know what's really interesting? The modern comics actually moved away from that. They separated the cane and Billy Club into two different items, making it more realistic.
That makes sense. I mean, a real white cane needs to be lightweight and practical, right?
Exactly. Modern white canes are made from aluminum, fiberglass, or carbon fiber. They're designed for mobility first, which is pretty different from a weapon meant for combat.
But Marvel has plenty of other characters who use canes as weapons, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. The Penguin's umbrella cane is a classic example, though that's technically DC. But in Marvel, you've got characters like the Riddler with his question mark cane.
You know what's fascinating? This whole concept has real-world parallels in martial arts.
Right. There's actually this incredible Victorian-era martial art called Bartitsu that was specifically designed around using a gentleman's walking stick for self-defense.
Hold up, Victorian martial arts? That sounds amazing.
It really is. It was created by Edward William Barton Wright in 1898, combining elements of boxing, jiu-jitsu, and cane fighting. It was literally the first mixed martial art in the Western world.
And this was all done while wearing a suit?
Yep, that's why they called it the gentleman's martial art. And get this, it actually shows up in Sherlock Holmes stories. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was fascinated by it.
That's such a cool connection between fiction and reality.
And you know what's really interesting? These principles are still being taught today. There are modern self-defense systems specifically designed around using canes.
Really? For actual self-defense?
Absolutely. There's a whole system called Cane Fu that's particularly popular with seniors. It turns a mobility aid into a defensive tool.
That's actually pretty brilliant when you think about it.
It is. And it connects back to our Marvel discussion, this idea of power hiding in plain sight, of ordinary objects containing hidden potential.
Speaking of power in plain sight, let's talk about how Marvel uses these concealed weapons symbolically.
This is where it gets really interesting. In comics, concealed weapons often represent hidden identities or secret power dynamics.
Like how Daredevil's cane represents his dual identity?
Exactly. It's this perfect symbol of how Matt Murdock presents one face to the world while hiding his true capabilities.
And I guess that applies to villains too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Villains often use these seemingly innocent accessories to hide their true nature. It's part of their deception.
You know, it's interesting how this reflects real-world history too.
Right? Like how sword canes became popular in the Victorian era because gentlemen weren't supposed to openly carry weapons.
So it's this whole thing about maintaining appearances while being prepared for violence.
Exactly. And Marvel really plays with this tension between appearance and reality.
Let's talk about how these weapons have evolved in modern comics.
Well, there's been this interesting shift toward more technological integration, like how Daredevil's Billy Club now has built-in communications gear.
So they're keeping up with the times?
Yeah, but what's fascinating is how they balance that with maintaining the classic aesthetics. The weapons still look traditional on the surface.
It's like they're hiding their true nature twice over.
That's such a good point. It's this layered deception that really adds depth to the storytelling.
You mentioned earlier about how this connects to power dynamics. Can you expand on that?
Well, think about it. In Marvel, the most powerful characters aren't always the most physically imposing. Sometimes it's the person with the unassuming walking stick who's actually the most dangerous.
Kind of like how Yondu's arrow looks like just a simple weapon but can take out an entire army?
Exactly. And that's actually a really good comparison. It's about subverting expectations and challenging assumptions about where power comes from.
Do you think this theme resonates particularly well with modern audiences?
I think it does, especially in an age where power increasingly comes in unexpected forms. We're more aware than ever that appearances can be deceiving.
That's a really interesting point about modern power dynamics.
And you know what's fascinating? This theme keeps evolving. Like how modern Marvel stories are exploring digital power alongside physical power.
So the concealed weapon concept is kind of expanding beyond just physical objects?
Exactly. But the basic principle remains the same. Power hiding in plain sight, waiting to be revealed.
Let's talk about how this influences character design in modern comics.
Well, artists now have to balance making these weapons look both practical and potentially dangerous. It's a really interesting design challenge.
I imagine that's especially true for characters like Daredevil who need their accessories to look authentic.
Right. And that's why they eventually separated his cane and billy club, to maintain that authenticity while still having the cool factor.
It's interesting how practical considerations end up influencing the storytelling.
And sometimes those practical limitations lead to more creative solutions, which actually makes for better stories.
Do you think we'll see more of these concealed weapons in future Marvel stories?
I think we will, but they'll probably keep evolving. Maybe we'll see more tech integration or new types of concealment we haven't thought of yet.
That could be really interesting to see.
Especially as our understanding of what constitutes a weapon keeps changing in the modern world.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive into Marvel's hidden arsenal.
And remember, next time you see someone with a fancy walking stick in a Marvel comic, maybe take a closer look. There might be more to it than meets the eye.
Thanks for joining us on Co-Pilot Podcasts, where we reveal the secrets hiding in plain sight. Until next time, keep your eyes open and maybe learn some Bartitsu.